there's a good chance Liverpool retain this title.
I said this. Do you know what side? I know Monts wants this word forbidden, but I'll speak on it, right?
Oh no, it was just forbidden for people other than that weren't Liverpool fans.
Oh, cool. What for me? What's so scary? We know what City and Pep are on. I've always said Arteta will win cups, but I don't think he has the minerals to win 38. I don't think Arsenal will ever be consistent with him at the helm. That's my opinion. But I think this is the best time to retain it for us because Slot has done this in a team that's not in his design. A player that's not even his player. And we know this because, we signed Kaiser, but that's a club signing. Slot doesn't play him. Slot doesn't like him. He'll probably be out the door this summer, right? But when he's already got a core of great players. When he adds in, it's like when you're making a meal and there's already a recipe that everyone uses, but to make it that extra bit nicer, to make it your meal, you add in a bit more ingredients. When he adds in another 3-4 starters, because we will spend this summer, and I know people saying FSG or owners and that, we have to. We won the Prem. We didn't spend nothing last summer. We didn't spend nothing in January. We will spend. I think we're the team that everyone should fear the most, and it's not just because we've won it and we're champions. But I think everyone else, other teams will sign. City will go and spend their 200 million. Arsenal will probably spend a lot as well. But we've already got probably more. Yeah, we'll probably more. Maybe like 3. But we've already got a good core now. I think, put it like this, I think we have to do less than City and Arsenal. That's basically what I'm saying. Because Chelsea and United smell shit, man. Just smell shit. You lot aren't going to be here. You lot aren't here. Spurs we don't have to speak on. Spurs are Spurs. But if I'm being honest, Arsenal and City will be there and thereabouts with us again. But I think we do retain it. So you know what? We have to because we've not done it. One thing I have to credit yourself, Saeed, Don, and LB. I have to. And not you, because you haven't. But you have retained. And to retain the league is very hard. Very hard. And I think we've retained the league before. Say that again?
We've retained the league before.
No. Remember what we spoke on the Fam Zone? Premier League. You want to speak about format? Premier League.
No, but you just said
Premier Leagues.
No, but you just said league. You didn't say
no. I said you've never retained a Premier League. I said Chelsea United.
Do you want me to clip after this? Okay,
cool. You know, if I didn't say that Premier League, because if you're going to go back to that, we all have. We've done it in the 1930s. You don't have. We've all done it. Even George have. I think even George has. I'm not going to lie. But I think we can retain it. I genuinely think we can retain it. We obviously need to buy smartly, but I think we will, man. I genuinely think we will.
Yeah, I think for me, bro, Slot, man, listen, he's probably going to get manager of the year. Here's what it is. We move.
They were trying to give it to Nuno, you know.
Can I just say quickly on Slot, Can I just say quickly on Slot? You can tell a good manager within a few games because I remember on this show.
United game, that's when I realized
the first 2-3 games, we was on this show and I said, and a lot of other people on the panel said, this guy's the real deal, man. Now, no one expected him at that time to go win the league, obviously not. But the fears about him being another Ten Hag were just dispelled. And this is when you can see a good coach. You don't have to wait a year, 2, 3, 3. You can see them within a couple of games, a week. Are they working? Have they got the players improved, man? And the Amarim, man. Listen, not Amarim. Sorry, what's it called? Slot.
Amarim, yo.
Yeah, not that guy. 6 wins in the Premier League. Yeah, we'll speak about that later. But Slot, man. Like credit to him, man. He got no players in the summer. And I think that he's coached the side extremely well. I think he took the best parts of Klopp. In terms of like that getting the ball forward, but then just keeping it a bit more chill so then they could last a full year and be a little bit more consistent, man. So fair play to him. I think Liverpool are going to move mad in the transfer window. I think they're going to spend big cash. There's no excuses. They didn't spend anything last year, so the money's there. Yeah, so let's see what happens, isn't it, man?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, man, who they bring in, man. Because listen, I was trying to persuade Roms early doors. You know what I mean? Once didn't believe that. You know what I mean? Go on.
To be fair, Don did say from early, and you know what? We all crash it or Don, call him shameless and that. But Don said from about September, maybe in October, I think it's you lot's year. I don't trust Arsenal and City's had this big Rodri injury. And I said to Don, just chill. Like I needed to be a bit more like you back then. Like maybe get a bit gassed early. I was like, Don, it's still a long way. We're only about 8-9 games in. You're like, trust me, I'm telling you. And you have maintained that throughout the season. So credit where it's due. You gave the credit from early.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. When I was watching Liverpool in comparison to Arsenal, Man City, obviously, they fell off a cliff. I could see, bro, from back to front, they had the best balance. Right? They had Salah on form, firing and whatnot. Their midfield was good. Their defense was good. They were creating chances. controlling games. Like when we played against you, man, that was the first time really, Roms, where I saw Slot actually change tactically to go back, sit back at home, and get us on the break. You know what I mean? That's when I was like, this guy's quite adaptable as well, because that was the first time he came out saying like these lot played better than us. You know what I mean? They've definitely got a bright future and whatnot. But yeah, overall, man, I think Liverpool, they've been the most deserving team, man. I know you lot have tailed off like this year, I would say 2025, but the work was done in the first half of the season, bro. That's where you lot won it for me.
And do you know what? Do you know why it's even scary next year? Yeah? I think once we'll agree, there's been the only slight criticism of Slot, and that's why I think you're seeing the Gravenberch and certain other players fatiguing a bit, is because he doesn't rotate enough. But do you know why he doesn't rotate enough? Because he doesn't trust a lot of players in our team. I think once we sell them and he brings in his own players, you're going to see him rotating more. And then I think you'll see players not getting tired towards the end of the season like they have this season. And that's when I think we'll go deeper in other competition. I think that's the only criticism I have of him. He doesn't rotate, but it's because he's thinking, you know what, I only trust about 12 or 13 players. I don't really trust the rest of you.
He's barely used your depth then. He's barely used your
he's barely used our depth. Because if you've seen a lot of our starting 11s, the forward lines kind of change, but in terms of the back 6, 7, you want to call it, it's pretty much stayed the same. The same.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. I think, listen, you lot have been very lucky this year, man. You've had your key players staying fit together. I know you've had Konate
I can't do the lucky thing, man. I can't do the lucky
thing. LB, hold on. Let's be real. I'm not even here. Hold on.
They've all been together, fit together at the same time.
Do you know why I'm going to dispel this quickly, Don? Yeah, because
you can come back. Let me land my point. Yeah, because end of the day, football. Listen, as much as we don't want to say it, it's about luck at times as well, bro. You know what I mean? Like to get the amount of injuries that Arsenal have had this year, and it's unlucky, isn't it? You know what I mean? The level of hamstring injuries and that it's unlucky, bro. You can say that, yeah, he's overplayed Saka, he's overplayed these guys that could have played a factor, cool. But then again, it could have just been bad luck. We don't know. Yeah. So for Liverpool, for me, like I've always said, bro, I maintained it even from last year. Said, bro, these teams, you're not going to compete without your main players, right? And for you lot, you've been able to keep your core fit most of the season.
I hear that, but do you know why it's not a coincidence? Yeah, the start of the season, a lot of Feyenoord fans were saying not only he's a great coach, we rarely get injuries because of his playing style. Rarely get injuries. So I know you're saying it's lucky, but I know what you mean because you can get injured anyway. You can get injured just walking and doing other activities off the pitch. But what I'm trying to say is the way we play, it's not a coincidence because Feyenoord fans said before a ball was kicked, he's not only the elite coach, he rarely gets injuries to his players.
You know what?
Don? You know why you and George will know what I'm saying? Because remember when you both had Poch and you're getting players drop like flies? The playing style can be very key.
It's true, bro, because I was saying the same thing for Maresca, yeah, because when I checked his track record for injuries and that, he managed to keep guys like Ricardo Pereira fit, bro. Right?
And look at James now. James.
I've got more for example. But look at James. Look at Neto. Right, Neto at Wolves was injury ridden because we even spoke in the summer runs. I said, bro, I'm not adding Neto to my list because of his injury record. I've got PTSD. Right, for the most of the season, he's been fit. Bro.
Stays fit. Yeah.
Lavia, the certain man you can't help in it. Like Lavia, we've tried to help him, but look at Reece, bro. This is the longest he's been fit in like 3 years. So style of play definitely helps, and it's not rock and roll consistently ping pong football, bro.
Yeah.
You know what's mad? Jota and Gravenberch are players that miss, let's say, maybe a third of the season. Some would even say 2/3, more or less since they've been here. Jota and Gravenberch have only had, and I don't think it was major injury. I think they both missed 3-4 weeks at max. But a lot of our injury-prone players have stayed fit. And at first, I thought maybe it was a bit of luck. But I went back to some things Feyenoord fans were saying. I was like, you know your manager. You lot really weren't lying because our injury-prone players after Konate's injury after Real Madrid, which was in November, I believe. He's pretty much stayed fit. He might have missed the odd game here and there, but he stayed fit. Jota's the biggest surprise because you don't know what he's like. And the irony is, I've always said if Jota stays fit, we win the league at a canter. He stayed fit, but he hasn't been one of the main reasons, which I thought he would be. That he's had a poor season, but he's actually stayed fit, which is why.
Even us, bro. Look at fucking Nkuku, bro. Nkuku's had enough minutes this season, bro, and like he's not been.
He's dead food, man. Dead food.
Even he stayed fit. Yeah,
he normally. That guy will play 2-3 games. He'll get injured. He's actually been able.
And Don, you know, I told you, man, about Nkunku very early before it was fashionable. You know, I told you about can't score and clunky.
Oh, we're moving straight to Chelsea right now, yeah.
in Conference
Let's
League.
talk about the win, man. Let's talk about the win, man. I want to talk about Nkunku.
An hour on
League.
Liverpool.
League.
I love this. An hour on Liverpool to thank you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We had to give you your flowers. Like I said, it hurts me, but we don't want to just skip past
one
it.
last
Half
thing.
an hour.
Saeed, brother. One last thing. Just one last thing quickly. In the last 8 years, there's only been 2 Premier League winners. You know, City for 6 of them, Liverpool for 2 of them. Are you guys not ashamed of yourselves? Are you not embarrassed? Don, Hooks, Saeed, are you guys not embarrassed?
I mean, we have got a lot in the bank, but yeah.
You know what, the once, yeah. Me and you are the only 2 that have won the Prem whilst Pep's been here, bro.
Listen.
This guy.
Good strategy.
I knew you wanted to link
You
in that.
shameless guy.
I know you wanted to link in
It's the only thing. It's the only
shameless guy, man.
ammunition the guy had. That he's got.
Only
That is
Maybe
shameless.
let's have something.
Only
man.
In his first season, you know.
Something.
This is
Yeah,
is
man.
it.
Your Hawks fight quiet, man.
Listen.
I feel zero
Hooks
shame.
is quiet because this is the norm for Hooks. It's been 21. It's not been as long as for the rest of us.
For the majority of those 8 years, I didn't even have a team capable of even challenging for the Prem. So it don't put off my back in it.